All right. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hope you all are having a good day so far. A relaxing day, hopefully. Hopefully your mood matches the weather outside because it is nice and sunny. Once again, no surprises here. That was expected today. Just a gorgeous Florida day. We'll talk about that. Talk about everything you need to know today and what's ahead for the rest of the week. Let me know if you can hear me just fine. Give me a thumbs up. Comments below. I'm checking comments, trying to respond to everybody today. Hopefully remember everyone's cities too. I got some people confused yesterday with where they're watching from. We had a nice array of people watching yesterday, from Ohio to Texas, North Carolina. If you're not here in Tampa, I mean, it's been gorgeous. But if you are here, hopefully you can get outside today. Because look at that. Here's your live look around. It's a really nice start across the area. Blue skies. The water is nice and blue, reflecting that. I don't know if you can see very clearly, but you can see Clearwater Beach. The shot is at Sugar Sands, the amazing Sandcastle Festival. So you need something to do this week, head out to Clearwater. Earlier in the morning, of course, is the best. You can see not a lot of people outside, but tends to get a little more crowded later on in the day. And it's going to be a nice and warm day, definitely warmer than usual. As we get into the afternoon, it's already pretty warm right now. Let me get my clicker here. It's 77 degrees this morning in Tampa. So almost at noon, almost at 80 in some spots, 75 in Bartow, 77 in Sarasota, 79 in Venice. So we are climbing there with our temperatures this morning. So we're already on track for another above average day. Dew points, no, not terrible, 59 degrees, right? So that puts us in kind of bordering that pleasant to a little sticky range there. So it could be worse dew point wise, and it's not. So it's really another great day to get outside. It's felt really refreshing this morning. By the afternoon, our dew points really won't be terrible. So even though we'll have a high today at 88 degrees, that added on humidity really won't be there. I mean, there's still humidity around, but it's not going to feel super heavy outside. So you can really get whatever you need to get done today. Head to the beach, head out on the boat. If you have any boating plans, it's going to be a great day to do so. We see our forecasted highs today. Plant City might get up to 90 degrees. Some of our inland spots could touch 90 today. So could get a little warm, a little toasty, I guess you can say, throughout the afternoon. And this is unseasonably warm for us. So we're usually at 81 degrees, or maybe it's 82 at this point. We are warming up, though. We are getting closer and closer into our summer months. But this is about 7 degrees warmer than where we're supposed to be this time of year. So if you like upper 80s, close to 90, that warmth without the oppressive humidity, this is definitely your day to get outside. Here's your marine forecast. A moderate chop on the bay. Have a wind coming out of the south at 15 knots. Seas at 2 to 3 feet. No advisories for you, so great boating conditions today. Let's talk about what's going on throughout the rest of the country here. You can see that stark contrast in temperatures from coast to coast. Those blues, those purples indicates cold air. And this is the typical springtime setup here. We have these the colder air to the north and to the west as interacting with warmer and moisture air further along in the south. When you have that classic clash of two air masses, you sometimes get severe weather. And so we have a severe weather threat pretty much every day this week, even into Thursday. Storms could persist as a system, a pretty potent one, moves across the country. So definitely that season, right, for storms to form. Let's look at the temperature contrast. It's 72 in Oklahoma City, 77 in Dallas. They are all under the gun today for severe weather. That part of the country, the Midwest and the Plains, or Texas, we can call it the South, but it's the Southern Plains technically. But you can see the big contrast, 33 degrees in Salt Lake City, 40 in Portland, 16 degrees in Billings. As you get into the Northern Plains, there's actually blizzard warnings in effect. You can see our satellite and radar here. That indicates, you can see the colors, the purples and the reds. Those are a plethora of watches today. We have blizzard warnings to the north, high wind warnings to the south, fire weather warnings also for some of the southern plains. With the system moving through, it's going to be some drier, gusty winds will be kind of behind that, interacting with already dry conditions throughout that part of the country. Fires can easily spark up and grow in size. So kind of a dangerous situation with this storm moving through, but when you have all the ingredients together, you can get a little bit of everything, and that's what we're seeing today. I don't believe there's no tornado watches or severe thunderstorm watches in effect right now, but that there is one that's going to be going into effect. It'll mainly be in effect in east central Texas, all the way up into the Midwest and the plains, so Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa. Even strong winds are possible today as the system, and tomorrow as the system continues to move through. You can see our satellite and radar. Florida is quiet. We still have high pressure and control, and that's keeping all of the storms and rain out of here, which is good for now. But it's bringing in that warmth as the area of high pressure continues to go out to the east. That's driving in that southerly type of wind. So more of a southeasterly wind bumps up our temperatures, and it also brings in a little bit more of that moisture, that surface moisture. So dew points will be going up as we get into the next couple of days, and you can even feel a difference today. It's not as crisp as our weekend was. But throughout the rest of the country, you can really see how a little bit more active it is. And now, nothing severe at this point, but you can see Texas blanketed with clouds. And that could help kind of stabilize the atmosphere a little bit as that first wave of rain moves in throughout Texas, all the way up into the southern plains, Oklahoma, Arkansas. Arkansas and Oklahoma saw some tornado warnings last night. Even a tornado emergency was in effect for north of Little Rock, I believe. Getting further north, you can see that the more brighter right, that's snow moving into North Dakota. So Bismarck area getting in on blizzard-like conditions today. Yeah, it's middle of April, but it happens. And throughout the rest of the day, if all the ingredients are there, we can get another severe weather, kind of potentially a breakout, all the way up into I guess you can call it the northern Midwest. So Minnesota, there's a big bullseye for a moderate risk of severe weather today, with damaging winds being the main threat. We can't rule out isolated tornadoes for Iowa, stretching all the way down into Texas and Louisiana, even a slight risk, but there's a bigger risk for Texas. There is a limiting factor, though. There's a pretty sturdy cap over parts of the south, and that could really limit how those storms grow. Now, if the storms break the cap, then the party begins, and we can get those strong storms to form. So everything is really conditional today in the sense of severe weather throughout that part of the country. As we move into Wednesday, still a severe threat, and it's pretty large, ranging all the way up to Illinois, down to northern Louisiana, into Mississippi. Still, Florida is out of that. Heading into Thursday, the system loses a little bit of energy. So as that front continues to shift to the east and to the south, there's still a marginal threat. Part of Florida is in that, but this is not a huge severe weather threat at all throughout some parts of the southeast. But you can kind of see where that band of green is. That's where that front's going to be stalling out. And as it continues to sink south into the state, it really won't make it to Tampa. But as it loses energy and gets closer and closer to the state, our weather will become a bit more unsettled as moisture pulls ahead of that front. And of course, a little bit more instability with the daytime heating and whatnot. We can get a few storms starting to pop off. So this is Thursday afternoon. You can see even a few small showers try to develop with that wind surging out of the south there. And as we get into the afternoon and evening, a few sea breeze driven storms could form. This is around 6:30. Mainly in our interior counties at this point. You can see storms really start to form later on that evening. Develop mainly in Highland, Hardy, DeSoto County before fizzling out. And then we start all over again for Friday with a few showers possible through the weekend as well. And yes, that does include Easter. So we'll have to keep our eye on Easter if you have any plans, because we could get a little showery throughout the day. And throughout the weekend. So this is Thursday. You can see afternoon showers are possible. You can see where that front is, just to the north of us, and it stalls out and doesn't make its way here, and we don't have enough energy to bring that front down. So even though there's a front close to us in proximity where we're living, we're not going to get a big cool down. All right, and once again, it is April, so I'm not expecting a huge chill, not even a big dew point drop because the drier air is still going to be well to the north of us. But we can get a few showers throughout the entire weekend. I think most of the rain that we'll potentially see with this frontal system will be well to the north of us in the southeast. So that's ahead for Saturday and through Sunday. Really just a bit unsettled, but no washouts here. Rain chances really don't go above 30%, at least at this time. So you can still be able to get outside and go to the Easter egg hunt, I believe. Just keep your eye on the radar for any showers. Your forecasted highs over the next couple of days, that really does tell the story too. We'll be in the upper 80s each day for the rest of the week. Normal temperature is 82 degrees. And by Saturday, 90, we'll push a 90 at least. A lot of places will be in the 90s as we get into the weekend and also into the next couple of days, especially inland. At the coast, a little bit cooler thanks to the water and the sea breeze, but we're going to be well above average, which I know a lot of people aren't complaining. But when you have upper 80s and you add on that uptick in surface moisture, the dew points, it's going to feel a little bit warmer than 80, a little bit more like 90 in some spots. So when you add on that extra humidity, you see our dew point forecast here, dew points in the 60s. That is a bit stickier for us. In the last couple of days, we've been in the 50s, 40s even throughout the weekend. That's very dry air. And so you'll feel the difference. It's going to feel a little heavier when you go outside. The air will, at least, over the next couple of days. But it's not as humid as it could get. You know, during the summertime, we have high temperatures in the lower 90s and then dew points in the 70s. That's a little aggressive, but we're not really going to see that this week. So it's going to feel a little more like summer, a summer tease, if you will, especially as we get into the end of the week where we have a chance for those sea breeze driven showers and temperatures remaining well above average in the upper 80s and low 90s. Your Easter, 30% chance for rain, so it doesn't look terrible, all right? And yeah, as we get into next week, there's still a shot of rain Monday through Tuesday, so not really any dry days or very dry days as we get into the second half of the week and into next week. Alrighty, that's all I have. I'm going to get off. We have the noon show coming up, and I'll be back on at 2, and I'll see you soon.